4 Essential Business Marketing Budget Tips. I know, we haven't even reached Halloween yet, let alone the holidays. But stay with me. Because if you're a fellow entrepreneur, now is the time to start thinking about your business goals for 2022. Business goals start with marketing. And marketing starts with a plan. Start planning early, and you set yourself up ahead of your competition, so you're ready to hit the ground running in 2022. Having the right marketing plan can make or break your business. I know, I've seen it both ways. Here are my top 4 recommendations for delegating your marketing funds in 2022. 4 Business Marketing Budget Tips for 2022. Number 1, set your budget. First things first, do you have a marketing budget? If not, then set one, pronto. It's pretty tough to create a successful business if you have no money to spend on that business. Set a budget that you think will afford you enough money to grow your business. And don't worry. Your marketing budget can be on the small side, it all depends on where you are at with your business, and how quickly and how far you want to escalate. Number 2, improve yourself. It doesn't matter where you are in your business. There's always something more that you can be learning. So first plan to invest some of your 2022 marketing budget in your own education and expertise. Update your professional growth and expand your knowledge base, so you grow as your business does. For example, in my own business, we deal in branding and graphic design, online marketing, custom web development, and more, and our industry is constantly changing. So I need to continually learn new skills along with updating the skills I already have. Every year, I take courses, I read books, and I make an effort to learn as much as I can, so I can share that expertise with my clients. Think about what you can be learning in your industry, regardless of what it is. By improving on your expertise, you are also improving your business and its potential to grow. Invest some of your budget in yourself, because the more you are an expert in your field, the more you will shine above your competitors. Number 3, attend live events. Another thing to consider in 2022 is attending live events that pertain to your business. These are great not only for learning from the speakers but also for meeting new people who work in your industry. You'll meet great people, hand out cards, and make new connections, all while learning from experts in your field and doing critical market research. Of course, the pandemic has changed live events a bit. Lots of events have gone online, which can be a good thing, as you can now access lots more relevant events without having to travel. But still, try to look for relevant speaking events in your area. As long as it's done safely, meeting people in real life can be incredibly powerful. So allocate some of your marketing budget and try to attend at least one event in 2022. I always have a great time at networking events and meet lots of interesting people who help me grow. Number 4, business marketing. Lastly, we have the on-the-ground marketing itself. This is your SEO, your social media ads, your search engine ads, and your content marketing. This is an area where so many entrepreneurs get stuck because they think they can learn to do it all themselves. Trust me, that's unrealistic at best. Trying to become a marketing expert will waste your time without getting any results. It takes years to become a marketing expert, all time that is much better spent focusing on what you do as a business. I know those courses you see popping up in your news feeds are tempting. They make it look so easy. But most people don't even finish them. So if you're considering an online course to learn something quickly, remember that only 10% of people who start an online course actually finish it. And those that do finish rarely come away with something of value. Instead, use your 2022 marketing budget to hire an expert. Just make sure they actually are an expert. Outsource to a reputable source like an established online marketing company. You might also benefit from working with a consultant. Just be sure to vet them thoroughly. Then once you've done your research and found a good fit, trust their experience and expertise, and let them guide you. They'll likely need some time to understand your branding and messaging, but then let them shine, remembering that organic marketing takes time. Here's to your business success in 2022. Susan Friesen, founder of the award-winning web development and digital marketing firm eVision Media, is a web specialist, business, and marketing consultant, and social media advisor. She works with entrepreneurs who struggle with having the lack of knowledge, skill and support needed to create their online business presence. As a result of working with Susan and her team, clients feel confident and relieved knowing their online marketing is in trustworthy and caring hands so they can focus on building their business with peace of mind and having a perfect support system in place to guide them every step of the way. How to navigate the latest Google May 2021 update. I know how important Google rankings are for small business owners, because I'm a small business owner myself. I also know that while the web development world has been abuzz with Google's anticipated algorithm update, most of the small business owners I deal with have no idea what's coming down the pipeline. And in the world of Google and online marketing, what you don't know coming down the pipeline can kill your business. Or at least, it can kill your search engine rankings, which can be the same thing for small businesses. It might sound like tech speak, but if you own a small business, keep reading. If you want to stay competitive, you must understand Google's core web vitals, and what they mean for your website. What are core web vitals? Core web vitals are metrics Google can use to evaluate your website when deciding whether or not to show it in search results. Coming May 1, 2021, there will be a Google algorithm update that will start to include core web vitals in page ranking. Google's core web vitals measure how user-friendly a website is. Specifically, Google will now be measuring these three critical aspects of your site. 1. Website speed. Google has never liked slow websites, but with the new 2021 user experience, it has upped the ante. Loading speed is a new core web vital that measures how long it takes your website's main content to load. Google calls your main content the largest contentful panes, and they recommend it load in 2.5 seconds or faster, on both mobile and desktop. 2. Website responsiveness. Do you have forms on your website, maybe a contact form or an email sign up? When someone clicks submit, do they have to sit and wait, watching that little spinning wheel spin? The second core web vital is called first input delay, which refers to how quick these types of interactions on your site take. Ideally, interactions on your website should be less than 100 microseconds. That's basically the blink of an eye, so your website really needs to perform well to rank well. 3. Website stability. Have you ever been on a website that is just jumpy? So that when you're scrolling through, and you try to click on a link, the layout suddenly moves, maybe because of an ad? You probably hate this, and so does Google. In tech speak, this is called cumulative layout shift, and it's another metric Google will be tracking on your website. The ideal measurement is less than 0.1. At the end of the day, these three core web vitals all track how easy it is for a user to interact with your website. As Google is getting smarter, it is using these metrics to help determine not just what is on your website, but your website itself. Read, is it time for a website makeover? Websites need to be freshened up from time to time. That doesn't mean that you need to completely overhaul everything, but many business owners don't spend enough time keeping their most important marketing tool up to date. Read about the 8 reasons you may want to consider a website makeover. Read more in our blog. What the latest Google update means for small business websites. Google will be tracking the core web vitals of all websites, starting in May 2021. So going forward, small business owners will have to pay much more attention to the user-friendliness of their websites. Many small business owners try to build and manage their own sites. If that is the case for you, then you need to check your page insights, along with how mobile-friendly your site is. Make sure your site is also set up on Google Search Console and Google Analytics. Google is only getting more competitive and demanding, so you really need to do your homework if you are going to manage your website by yourself. You must be comfortable managing the ins and outs of how it's set up so you can make adjustments as necessary. It's also important to note that websites built on pre-made WordPress themes and drag-and-drop builders tend to have excess code, which can slow things down. Ultimately, the 2021 Google update further illustrates that if you want your website to work, if you want people to be able to find you and your offerings, then you need to have all your technical ducks lined up in a row. It's not okay for your website to just be pretty. It has to function well on the front end and on the back end. If you don't have the time to not only create an efficient website, but to update it as necessary, then it likely won't perform the way you want it to. Google is constantly updating its algorithm, and best practices in web design are constantly changing. This latest update is just a further reminder that web design and functionality are complex and multifaceted. Indeed, proper web development requires continually learning and continual tweaking. Remember Google's main objective. Finally, this update is also a good check-in reminder for small businesses. If you want to reach people browsing the internet, then you have to keep your website up to date and follow all the best practices, all the time. So, is your website mobile friendly? Is it secure? Do you have a privacy policy? These are all metrics Google has already been using to evaluate you. And remember, Google is a business, too. The people who use it for their internet searches are their customers. And their goal is to keep their customers happy by offering delightful user experiences. Content is still king. Google says, a good page experience doesn't override having great, relevant content. However, in cases where there are multiple pages that have similar content, page experience becomes much more important for visibility in search. So this is a great opportunity for small businesses, especially new businesses that are having a hard time getting up the ranks. If you have a competitor who has more authority in Google than you may be able to beat them with the right content and good core web vitals. Ultimately, Google's main objective should dovetail with your own. You want to delight your potential customers. The best way to do that is to have and maintain an efficient, user-friendly website with lots of great, rich content. My team helps small businesses make search engine optimized websites their customers, and Google, will love. Get started with a professional website that showcases your company beautifully and gets found in the search engines that results in more leads and sales for your business. To your business success. Susan Friesen, founder of the award-winning web development and digital marketing firm eVision Media, is a web specialist, business, and marketing consultant, and social media advisor. She works with entrepreneurs who struggle with having the lack of knowledge, skill and support needed to create their online business presence. As a result of working with Susan and her team, clients feel confident and relieved knowing their online marketing is in trustworthy and caring hands so they can focus on building their business with peace of mind and having a perfect support system in place to guide them every step of the way. Follow these EAT guidelines to improve your website SEO. You know what they say, you are what you eat. Of course, when people say this, they're usually discussing your diet, and how your food choices impact your health. But what about the health of your website? Turns out what your website eats plays a big role, too. I'm talking, of course, about EAT, part of Google's new search guidelines. If you want to create content that Google likes, then you must follow EAT. EAT stand for 3 important criteria that Google uses when evaluating your site. Expertise, authority, trustworthiness. Going forward, businesses looking to attract more web traffic will have to consider Google's EAT guidelines. Not sure how to do that? Don't worry. Like with all things about SEO, we've got your back. Keep reading to understand these guidelines, plus how to use EAT to make your website a whole lot better. Understanding Google EAT. EAT is one of the metrics that Google can use to assess the quality of a site. Let's break down what they're looking for explicitly in each category. 1. Expertise. You wouldn't ask your dentist to change your oil. We all know that expertise matters, and that includes on the internet. So Google also likes to determine the expertise of the creator of a website, to see if they're a right fit for the types of questions being searched. That means Google likes to see proof that you are indeed an expert in your field, and don't worry, we'll cover ways to do this below. 2. Authority. Authority takes expertise a step further. Imagine you've been secretly making cupcakes for 20 years, and you've perfected your recipe. You would certainly have some expertise in cupcake making, lucky you. But if no one's ever tasted your cupcakes, then you wouldn't be an authority in the cupcake world. No one would be looking to you for your advice or recipes. The same goes for websites. It's great to have a lot of high-quality content on your website. But Google is looking for ways to determine if other people actually value that content. Ultimately, Google wants to showcase websites with recognized authority in their field. 3. Trustworthiness. And like you've probably already guessed, it's important Google sees you and your website as trustworthy. That means they will reward content they believe is honest, accurate and true. Again, we'll cover how to boost your reach below. But first, note that it is especially important for websites that deal with issues like your health, your finances and your safety. Nicknamed YMML, your money and your life, these are areas where serving up the right results really matters, with sometimes life or death stakes. So Google is much more critical of YMML sites than of others. That's why when we work with clients like naturopathic Dr. Jennifer Bunzemeyer, we make sure we follow every best practice to an absolute T. Read your guide to SEO Trends 2021. Search engine optimization is the process of attracting organic, free, traffic from the search results in search engines. You want people who are typing keywords relevant to your business into the search engines to see your site right away. If your business doesn't appear high up in the organic results, potential clients won't even know you exist, and they'll go to a competitor. Here are 3 important SEO tips you need to know now. Read more on our website. Why is it important for SEO? To understand how Google SEO works, you first have to understand Google's goals. Remember, and believe it or not, Google has competition. There are other search engines out there. So Google's goal is to be the best search engine available so they continue to dominate internet search. They're currently at 92.18% of all internet searches, so clearly, they're doing something right. In order to reach this goal, Google has to consistently show the best results for whatever keyword someone happens to be searching for. They want to make sure they're serving up search results that answer their users' questions with high-quality content. Because if they stop serving up good results, people will stop using them. And it's that high-quality content piece where it comes in. Thankfully for business owners, it dovetails with what should already be important elements of your brand. To be successful in any business venture, you need to position yourself as a trustworthy, authoritative expert. So the more you can create great content, that both your audience and Google will love, the better your website will perform. How to improve your website credibility and authority. So how to create content that Google likes. Think about the EAT of your website, and let that inform your content, marketing and branding decisions. To improve your EAT rating, consider the following tips. Do good keyword research to ensure you're providing exactly the type of content your audience is searching. Become a quality author by being active on social media, engaging with other influencers, and writing guest posts on other sites. Make sure your website includes reviews and testimonials. Make sure your business information is clear and easy to find and includes your company history, along with team bios and a stellar contact page. Include links on your site to other authorities, like we linked to this authority site earlier in this post, and internal links that help Google understand the structure of your site. Try to make sure there are no grammar, broken links or factual errors on your site. Ultimately, you want to make it crystal clear who you are and what your company is about, along with why you're the true expert in your field. And, how many times do we need to say it? Content is still king, and will always be king. So one of the best ways to ensure you're following all these steps is to ensure you're regularly putting out quality content on your blog. Ultimately, building a good SEO website takes research and work. Staying on top of best practices for Google is a full-time job. That's why hiring a specialist will give you the best ROI for this important business investment. Don't expect to be an overnight success, but by working with a digital marketing agency like us, you can help ensure you're consistently putting out content that Google will favor. To your business success. Susan Friesen, founder of the award-winning web development and digital marketing firm eVision Media, is a web specialist, business, and marketing consultant, and social media advisor. She works with entrepreneurs who struggle with having the lack of knowledge, skill and support needed to create their online business presence. As a result of working with Susan and her team, clients feel confident and relieved knowing their online marketing is in trustworthy and caring hands so they can focus on building their business with peace of mind and having a perfect support system in place to guide them every step of the way. Understanding Google Ads and why you might not find yours where you expect to. I get it. You've invested money in Google Ads, smart move. And you see other people's Google Ads every time you browse the internet. So how come you never see your own ad? It's a question we field from clients all the time. And there's a simple answer. But first, to put you at ease, don't worry. There is nothing wrong if your Google ad is not showing your own personal search results. In fact, this is often what you should expect. We'll cover Google Ads and SEM, search engine marketing, in more detail below. But first, we asked our resident ads expert Daniel Simmons to settle the question once and for all, why can't you see your own Google Ads? Understanding Google Ads, and why you don't see your own Google Ads can be used to create brand awareness, but they're often best used to sell or promote products or services, generate website traffic, or get email list signups. When used in this way, they offer an easy-to-measure ROI, so you can understand how your ads money is working for you. Ultimately, budget plays a big factor in whether or not you'll see your own ad. But first, let's explore the two types of Google Ads, search ads and display ads, because the type of ads you're using can factor into if and when you'll see yours personally. Search ads. As the name suggests, search ads are ads that appear when someone does a Google search. Say you're a plumber in Kelowna. If someone Googles plumber in Kelowna, then your ad could appear in their search results. As you'd guess, these types of ads can be incredibly powerful, as you're making sure you're appearing front and center to people who may be looking for your direct services. The important thing to keep in mind, though, is that your ad won't appear every single time someone searches for your keywords. You're actually in a bidding war with every other company that's using similar keywords, and trust us, the competition is often steep. So if you have a small budget, say, less than $20 per day, then it can get used up pretty quickly each day. And that means that depending on when you try to find your ad, you might be searching after your ad spend for the day has been used up. In other words, it would be impossible for your ad to show up for you. This is compounded by your geographic parameters. If you have a very specific location you're targeting, as in, one small city, then maybe you'll see your ads, even if you have a small budget. But if you're using a limited budget to target a huge area, like, all of North America, for example, then your budget will likely get used up before you have a chance to see your own ads on any given day. It's a numbers game. You don't have to spend lots on Google Ads to get results, especially when you're using Smart SEM. But unless you're spending lots in a very targeted region, the odds of seeing your own ad just aren't there. But don't worry. Again, if your campaign is set up well, the right people will still be seeing and clicking. And that's so much more important than stumbling on your own ad. Display ads. Display ads work a little differently. These are images or video that show up on websites within a display network, and you pay per 1,000 impressions. There is a higher likelihood that you'll see your own display ads, assuming again your budget isn't too small and your geographic targeting isn't too large. But there's a caveat. These ads don't display on every website, only on specific ones within that network. So, if you're on the wrong website, again, there's a 0% chance your ad will show up. Again, this isn't the end of the world. Because again, just because you're not seeing your ad, that doesn't mean potential customers aren't. How to see your ad in search results. By now, you're probably getting the picture. Unless you have a big budget, in the $100 per day range or higher, and a small target region, then there's a good chance you won't see your ads. And that's okay. Because not seeing your ad doesn't mean it's not performing well or getting you results. Read, Best Ad Strategies for Immediate Results. Advertising can be so effective for your business, but it has to be done right or you'll lose time and money. With all the info out there, conflicting advice and constantly changing online platforms, it's so hard to know where to spend your ad budget. In this article, we're simplifying both online and offline advertising strategies, so you can start to see immediate sales from your website. Read more on our website. So it's much more important to see your ad results than to see your actual ads in the wild. And you do that by checking your Google Analytics. We make sure that all of our clients have access to their Google Analytics account. From that account, you can see where your ads are being shown, on what devices, at what times, and at what rates. There's so much invaluable information you can find on your account. That's why we are more than happy to spend time with clients to help them understand their Google Analytics accounts. Because sometimes all that invaluable information can lead to info overload. Many people log into their analytics account once, find it overwhelming, and nope out, never logging in again. That's why we like to take an hour or so with clients to walk them through how to understand what they're seeing in Google Analytics. Why? Just like you have to understand your financial numbers as a business owner, you have to understand your website analytics. They go hand in hand in understanding your business and where it's going. Of course, we also give our digital marketing clients monthly analytic reports as well. Seeing your ad versus seeing results. Don't fall into the trap of missing the forest for the trees. Ultimately, it doesn't matter if you see your Google ad. It matters if potential customers do. This is how Google Ads help your business. And that's where SEM expert comes in. SEM, or search engine marketing, helps increase conversations from paid Google Ads by leveraging proven campaign management and optimization strategies. It's a critical tool in digital marketing. And it requires highly focused keywords to determine the most cost-effective approach to obtaining qualified customers who are searching for exactly what you offer. Anyone can set up a Google account and get some ads running. Heck, you could probably set it up yourself. But using Google Ads properly, to connect with the right people at the right time with the right message, requires complex know-how. Without this know-how, you're setting yourself up to waste a lot of money. You need someone who will manage your Google AdWords account, targeting the keywords and display campaigns that will drive conversions, purchases, leads, goal completions, to your site. Through a variety of research tools and techniques, they can develop effective paid search campaigns focused on meeting your target cost per sale or lead. You'll reach eager buyers who wouldn't necessarily find you organically via search engine optimization techniques. To your business success. Susan Friesen, founder of the award-winning web development and digital marketing firm eVision Media, is a web specialist, business, and marketing consultant, and social media advisor. She works with entrepreneurs who struggle with having the lack of knowledge, skill and support needed to create their online business presence. As a result of working with Susan and her team, clients feel confident and relieved knowing their online marketing is in trustworthy and caring hands, so they can focus on building their business with peace of mind and having a perfect support system in place to guide them every step of the way. Tales from the Online Marketing Crypt number 17. Stop doing these 3 wasteful things in your business to start making net profits. Waste not, want not. Diaresis. Don't waste your breath. Diaresis. What a waste of time/space/energy. The list goes on, and I'm sure you've either heard or said any number of these idioms over the years. Being the system type of personality that I am, wasting time is a big pet peeve of mine. Growing up on the farm, my dad decided he wanted to control the thistles that were starting to take over the back pasture. I guess pesticides weren't a thing back then, but child labor was. One summer he put me to work pulling out every single thistle stalk. By hand. Armed with adult-sized leather gloves, I sat on the field grabbing the large prickly stalks at the base and tugged with all my might to free those suckers from their clutches. I had to ensure every bit of root was captured, otherwise, the weed would grow right back again. I labored all summer on that project, or so my childhood memory has deemed this to be true. It was a big patch of nettles with thick stalks firmly implanted into the hard ground, so they weren't all that easy to pull out for this 10-year-old. Of course, the next summer they all came back to continue their dominance of the field. What a colossal waste of time that was. Have you ever felt like you've wasted too much of something in your business? When marketing the services that we provide, you'll often hear me encourage business owners to stop wasting 3 things. 1. Wasting time. 2. Wasting money. 3. Wasting energy. Let's explore each of these areas and see if anything resonates with you. Wasting time. One of the biggest problems I see entrepreneurs have is wasting their time trying to learn and do something that's outside their area of expertise. Somewhere along the way, especially as women, we got it into our heads that we should know how to do everything that involves building a business. How is that even possible? Even if one had a master's degree in business, would they know how to do everything? Certainly they would know what needs to be done, but I argue not how. That's why businesses can't be built with just one person. They need a team. Businesses need to delegate to people who have expertise in areas the founder doesn't. And no, the DIY tools that are available don't cut the mustard. Just because I know how to use a calculator, doesn't make me a mathematician. Ultimately, you don't know what you don't know, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You simply need to learn to delegate. I asked fellow business owners in a Facebook group I belong to what they found wasteful in their business, and throughout this piece you will hear their responses. This one from Christine Rim, founder of Woman of Worth, shares her valuable lesson on trying to do everything herself. Wearing too many hats and not staying focused on what I'm most brilliant at, letting others shine their specific brilliance on areas I'm not as strong in. Doing everything and/or micromanaging comes with a price tag. Primarily burnout and unintentionally pissing people off. LOL. This was a hard lesson for me many years ago, when I thought I was Superwoman and could do everything. Another waste of time that I certainly fell into the trap of is attending countless webinars and seminars. And I'm not the only one. NLP trainer and master coach Terry Holland wrote, I wasted a lot of time and money on weekend seminars that offered no value, but I felt a sense of FOMO if I didn't attend. Each time I left feeling deflated. The seminar didn't provide what was promised and was just a sales pitch for a bigger program. And there are some good ones out there too. I'm just more discerning about where I spend my time and money now, and I stopped chasing the next shiny offer. Jen Biddlecombe with Inner City Flooring and Coquitlam mentioned a waste of time you may have also experienced. I wasted energy on trying to get family to support my business at the beginning. You and you alone are the only one who cares about your success. Wasting money. I mean, who hasn't wasted money while pursuing their dream business? I sure have. Similar to Terry, I spent a lot of money on courses and programs that didn't deliver anywhere near what was promised. Heck, I could have taught those courses myself and added even more value while at it. Aside from spending money on courses and programs, there are other areas that could be sucking your money out of your net profits. One of them I have experienced is hiring the wrong people for our team. Whether hiring an employee, contractor or subcontractor, this can be a very costly mistake if the proper due diligence isn't done to ensure the right person is chosen. And I'm not the only one. Martin Jongajan, owner of Zoom Home Cleaning Experts, expressed his frustrations in this area. Spending too much time and effort on members of my team that I wanted to succeed in their role, more than they wanted to succeed in their role, was like trying to push a rope. I can't underestimate the importance of having people on your team who get it, who want it, and who are capable of doing it. And Renata Kobeck with Kobeck Immigrations has a similar experience. Paying for professional services that were subpar and spending too much time trying to make sure everything is perfect. Business management consultant at Black Sheep Business Consulting, Kevin Foreman shared a valuable lesson he learned about wasting money. I have wasted the most in business by means of capital. It underlines the need to have ample financial resources, as not every investment in your business will pay off. Some people like to say you don't need money to start or grow a business, but they couldn't be more wrong. You need lots of money, because even the strongest businesses waste lots of capital. The loss in opportunity of not wasting capital is lesser than the chance to gain market share, which comes by wasting some capital. Ultimately, to grow a business, it's important to ensure whatever you are investing money in has an ROI, return on investment. If that investment, such as a fancy new phone, a program teaching you skills outside of your area of expertise, or state-of-the-art camera, can't make you money, then reconsider and use those funds for something that will. Wasting effort. Sometimes we don't realize just how valuable effort is. It's not tangible or measurable, but when push comes to shove, it's extremely valuable. Effort is a resource we need to hold onto dearly and ensure it's being used with the right intentions. Achieving our goals is one such intention. Do you have your business goals mapped out? What do you want to achieve in the next 6 months? By next year? 5 years from now? If you haven't mapped out your goals, then you could be wasting a lot of effort chasing unachievable pipe dreams. Or maybe you do have goals in mind, but have you mapped out how to achieve them? What needs to take place to realize those goals? This is where knowing your numbers is also imperative. If you don't know your numbers, then you are wasting a lot of effort playing in your business. This example from Marcel Barker with Tammy Ann Barker wasted a lot of effort trying to sell before truly understanding what they were selling. Our biggest waste of time, energy, and money comes from not fully understanding our product life cycle and when we should be doing what. We generate a bunch of hype on social media long before we had figured out what we were selling and how it would be produced. When I finally sat down to write a proper business plan, I researched and wrote up a full, highly detailed end-to-end walkthrough, taking a collection through high concept, greater than design, greater than development, greater than launch, greater than selling, greater than production. It revealed a lot of what we had been doing wrong. Chasing those shiny objects that inundate us every single day can be so tempting when we don't know our numbers and have a business and marketing plan in place to follow. And thus we go full circle, wasting valuable time, money and effort trying to build a successful and sustainable business. Does any of this resonate with you? Do you need help getting on track and following a solid plan for your business as opposed to playing in it? I offer free 30-minute consultations for business owners just like you and invite you to book an appointment so I can help you get on the right track to building your dream business. To your business success. Susan. Recommended resources on our website. 1. Read, The Entrepreneurial Bright and Shiny Object Syndrome Exposed. There's an insidious travesty happening to entrepreneurs with bright and shiny object syndrome. What you need to know before signing up for another program. 2. Read, Why Focus is the #1 factor in your business success. Do you get distracted by shiny objects? If you are busy doing different projects seeking business success, you should always ask yourself these questions posed by guest author Cheryl Bishop. 3. Watch, Why Business Plans Are a Must-Have. You've heard about the importance of business plans, but do you know why they are so essential? My guest Pamela Chattery shares valuable business plan insights. 4. Watch, Simplifying and Demystifying the Business Plan. Creating a business plan doesn't have to be scary or overwhelming. My guest Pamela Chattery covers the important components that go into a business plan. Susan Friesen, founder of the award-winning web development and digital marketing firm eVision Media, is a web specialist, business, and marketing consultant, and social media advisor. She works with entrepreneurs who struggle with having the lack of knowledge, skill and support needed to create their online business presence. As a result of working with Susan and her team, clients feel confident and relieved knowing their online marketing is in trustworthy and caring hands so they can focus on building their business with peace of mind and having a perfect support system in place to guide them every step of the way. Similar to with paint, drywalling can be a method that's really labor intensive, so the drywall repair contractors you employ should be experienced at their work, as any kind of imperfections will certainly begin to turn up as soon as all the job has been completed. That's why it's crucial that you take time when searching for drywall contractors near you, to find a person who can be relied on to do the work well. You might not understand this, however mounting drywall is made up of 2 different work. Mounting the sheetrock is the initial task, and also this entails shaping, cutting as well as setting the panels into location, rounding off by attaching them. Job number 2 is taping the joints as well as sealing them in addition to the screw heads, making use of drywall compound. The second component of the job rotates around sanding as well as coating the surface areas up until the corners as well as wall surfaces are smooth, and also preferably, you are not able to tell where one sheet ends and the various other one starts. When you take into consideration all this, it must be clear that you require to take certain actions when hiring drywall repair contractors, to guarantee you work with the appropriate person for the job. Just what is the scope of the project? The initial point you should take into consideration before you begin seeking drywall repair contractors is to analyze the scope of the project. Any little drywall repair service jobs could normally be handled by DIY, yet if you are looking at an extra considerable task that is composed of fixing one or more areas in your house, you should work with an expert drywall repair professional in your location. By doing this, you can be guaranteed that the job will certainly be managed swiftly and effectively. Searching for as well as hiring a contractor. You could discover a drywall renovation contractor with a number of methods, including word of mouth, residence building shops, and also the web. Many of the moment, recommendations from credible celebrations are the most effective, as they can give you a concept of that is reliable as well as whether they are capable of getting the job done you intend them to do. You could likewise see their website and consider consumer evaluations, though keep in mind that they will not be posting up adverse testimonials. Ask around Facebook or look at websites that have straightforward client testimonials. Once you have discovered a few professionals that you think will certainly meet your needs, you could take the complying with actions to tighten down your selection. 1. Interview potential contractors. After you have done your online research, you have a concept of that the finest professionals are for your job. Any type of reliable specialist will find the time to chat regarding your job extensively, so you could figure out if they are ideal for the task. Several of the topics that you can cover when you are interviewing them are the following. How long their firm has been in business. Whether or not they are licensed as called for by the area or state. Make certain to consult the licensing workplace as well as the Better Business Bureau to ensure they have the proper license. If they can supply evidence of insurance. How numerous individuals would be working with your job. Tentative begin and completion dates. References. The tools they will certainly be giving the job, and also whether they will provide cleanup. You must maintain in mind that experts are not most likely to be angered by your inquiries, as they comprehend it's all component of the procedure. Doing a complete meeting will help you weed out the finest of the bunch. Any type of appropriate service provider will certainly be happy to show off their work and more than happy to place you in contact with their previous clients to receive referrals. 2. Make certain you have an excellent connection with your specialist. It will be somebody you find easy to chat to when you locate the appropriate individual for the job. You and your professional should see eye to eye, so attempt to hire a contractor that has experience in the kind of work you're looking for as well as comprehends your goals. You have to ensure you're able to deal with someone, so follow your gut sensation. If you get a great feeling regarding a specific specialist, it needs to consider into your choice, however it must not be the determining element. Communication is vital for a successful task, and also making certain you as well as the service provider are on the appropriate wavelength will assist ensure a smooth process, and also will really have the ability to inform them just what you want. You should firmly insist on normal get in touch with by messages, phone, or email. The job staff could manage all the day-to-day job, yet an once a week update from the foreman is constantly a good idea. 3. Acknowledge that rate will certainly reflect high quality. Speak with your service provider about their referrals for just how the job ought to be finished. Consider if it is worth cutting edges just to fix something temporarily, and also realize that the most affordable quote will certainly not constantly be the ideal one. Request a created summary of all the needed products for the work, as a tiny bid might be a sign that the professional is using low quality materials. A lot of accurate propositions will certainly remain in the mid-price variety. 4. Ask for references. We formally covered the subject, however it's important that you request for recommendations from all possible contractors. As quickly as you get the referrals, contact them as well as obtain described info regarding the job they had actually done by the business, consisting of timeline, any delays, as well as any feasible problems that turned up during the job. 5. Avoid obtaining scammed. You are well on your method and also could prevent being scammed by any type of dodgy professionals when you get recommendations and also do the appropriate study. Demand an authorized solution agreement listing all project details prior to relocating ahead with any drywall contractors. 6. Obtain a written quote. Obtain a written quote from them as soon as you've narrowed down your feasible professionals. You should make certain to get it in writing, as if they are collaborating with a number of customers they might puzzle your bid with one more job, or they could have a short memory. It's fine to give a preliminary down payment to secure their solutions, but never pay for the total task up front. Your estimate ought to have all the details, consisting of begin as well as end days, however realize that there may be some unanticipated organizing problems or holdups, so you must be flexible. 7. Request for a created contract for your drywall repair or restoration job. The contract you get need to be outlined, and also it needs to include the following: the names of all involved events, a detailed description of the task, the license number of the professional, settlement plans, total expense, a detailed timeline as well as how extra costs will be dealt with. Be attentive. If you do not get a routine for the completion of the work, this might be an indicator that the professional is presently doing various jobs, as well as could not be able to finish your job in the time stated. You have to monitor all the important details and all files associated with the job such as receipts, payments, and also contracts in a secure place. Secret call info for all employees in your project should likewise be tape recorded. 8. See to it every little thing has actually been finished before you sign off. When job has actually been finished, routine a final walkthrough with the supervisor, bearing in mind of anything that might not have actually been finished. You ought to request a final release or an affidavit, as this will certainly clear you of any type of obligation from a third-party claim once you've made the last payment. The initial thing you require to consider before you begin looking for drywall repair contractors is to evaluate the range of the job. Any small drywall repair jobs could normally be dealt with by DIY, but if you are looking at a more considerable job that is composed of repairing one or more spaces in your home, you require to hire a professional drywall repair service professional in your area. After you have done your online study, you have an idea that the ideal contractors are for your job. Any kind of trusted professional will find the time to talk about your task thoroughly, so you could figure out if they are best for the job. Be mindful, if you do not obtain a routine for the conclusion of the work, this might be an indicator that the professional is currently doing various work, and could not be able to complete your project in the time stated. In this article we will peel back the onion on set-aside letters, SAL, issued by banks in connection with construction loans. What are they, when they are useful and when are they not? Here is the essence of such documents. The agreement covering the project will provide that the funds in said impound account are to be disbursed for payment of the name of project, mentioned above and only after, bank, has satisfied itself that the work paid for has actually been performed. In the event, borrower, fails to complete the project described herein, all funds remaining in said impound account shall be immediately available to surety to complete and pay the costs of said project, and in such event, borrower, waives any claim or interest in the remaining funds. Surety shall not in any way be obligated to repay said funds so used to, bank. This is an irrevocable commitment of funds which is not subject to recall or offset by, bank. Pretty interesting. This letter, agreement keeps the loan in play to fund the completion of the project, even if the borrower, bank customer, fails, defaults. When are set-aside letters used? These documents are a common underwriting requirement when a site or subdivision bond is issued by a surety. If the bond applicant, who is also the developer and borrower, is relying on a construction loan to fund the bonded work, the SAL protects the surety by providing funds for the completion of the work in the event of a default. What a great idea! So why don't we use these on everything? Let's look at another example. Commercial projects. The project owner hires a bonded contractor and a bank loan will fund the project. The bank needs a guarantee that the asset, project, which backs the loan, will be built as intended. A performance and payment bond accomplishes this and assures there will be no mechanics liens against the property for unpaid bills. These two aspects benefit the project owner and the lender. Keep in mind, in a borrower default situation, the bank becomes the new owner of the project. It is common for the bank to stipulate that a bonded contractor is used for the project, and they may want to be a named beneficiary on the P&P bond, accomplished by issuing a dual obligee rider. Should a smart underwriter also require a SAL from the lender? On commercial projects, the normal practice is to not obtain a SAL from the lender. Why not? What's different about this? A. The bank is a secured lender. B. The bank can subrogate against the borrower's assets. C. The dual obligee rider serves a similar purpose to the SAL. A and B are true, but the answer is C. Welcome to the weeds. We're going in now. The dual obligee rider adds the lender as a beneficiary with all the rights and obligations of the obligee named on the bond, the project owner. And what are they? Obviously they are entitled to make a performance claim and have the project delivered as indicated in the contract. The named obligee also has obligations, one of the most primary is to pay the builder. Important, The obligee is prohibited from making a performance claim if they have failed to pay the contractor. Therefore, when the bank is included under a dual obligee rider, they accept the benefits and obligations. If the borrower defaults, the lender cannot make a bond claim unless they continue to pay the construction loan to the surety. Now the bank owns the project and the surety has become the contractor. Summary. Is this starting to make sense? When a borrower defaults on a commercial project, a lender included by dual obligee rider cannot make a claim unless they continue to pay the project funds to the surety. Deeper weeds. On site and subdivision there is a unique risk. The lender can take a free ride on the surety by having the bonding company pay out of pocket to complete the project. Site and sub-D bonds have the local municipality as obligee, not the bank. The bank doesn't want a dual obligee rider because they automatically receive a financial benefit if the municipality makes a bond claim to demand completion. If the borrower has defaulted, the bank has the opportunity to withhold the balance of the loan, the borrower is gone, and watch the surety pay to complete a project they now own. And they were not even the bond claimant. This is the risk sureties avoid by requiring the SEO that keeps the loan in play, even if the bond applicant, borrower has failed. Admittedly, this is a pretty obscure subject, but also somewhat interesting. It never hurts to understand how things fit together. It is how we help you with your tough cases. Steve Golia is the National Surety Director for Great Midwest Insurance Company, an A8 carrier specializing in contract surety. The company provides performance and payment bonds with speed and creativity, up to $10 million per contract. Contact us today and let's discuss how we can help, even if others have failed. Call 856-304-7348. The fifth wave is the developing wave of the feature key to personal and organizational success in the 21st century. The fifth wave will revolutionize how people deal with emotion and psychological impact on expanding knowledge and unrelenting change. More so, the fifth wave focuses on self-discovery that moves to the critical elements of relationship, commitment, accountability. This focus allows organization to clarify and act on core values, which ultimately serve to create tangible and unified culture. Employees who develop the capacity for self-analysis and adaptive learning will provide organizations with a remarkable competitive advantage. In the fifth wave, leaders will require uncomfortable introspection, a willingness to eliminate dysfunctional performances, and determination to model a culture that can tolerate unpredictability, uncertainty and vulnerability. THE5TH wave serving as innovation to future industrial revolution. The fifth wave is very innovative, which serves as a key to a country's prosperity, security, better jobs, and better health, as well as responses to coming challenges like energy security and global warming. The thinking of fifth wave as a means of future industrial revolution, we think of steam engines and factories, but in fact, this was only one of many industrial revolutions. There has been a correlation between repeated technological revolutions and the waves of economic growth that carry them. Each of these waves is driven by a carrier branch technology. There was a definition given to this as a new way of doing this so much more efficiently than the old ways that it reshapes every aspect of the economy. Here, we are going to look at the 5 carrier branch technologies that did aid a country's economy for growth and development in the last 150 years. Water-powered machinery. Steam power. Electrification. The internal combustion engine. Computerization. Under the fifth wave future industrial revolution, there is presence of carrier branch technologies that has a core input, for example coal, or iron, or oil, or computer chips, and give rise to a whole secondary economy of supporting industries and social institutions. Each wave follows a similar economic pattern. The initial invention creates a period of boom, with rising material wealth, but as the technology reaches a point of saturation, the economy enters a downswing or crisis of structural readjustment. These upswings in the past lasted from 20 years to 30 years each, leading to a total cycle time of around 50 years. The first practical steam locomotive, kicking off a 2-decade-long railroad building boom. Better mining techniques lowered the cost of iron and coal, while railroad barons made immense fortunes and businessmen everywhere benefited from the lowered cost of transport. Tourism, hotels, restaurants, and national markets all owe their origins to the low cost and high speed of rail travel. The demands of financing and administering the new railroads led to new forms of social organization such as the Joint Stock Corporation, dedicated administrators, and new educational institutions. Humanity in the year 2100. In order to express the broadness and also wideness of the options, Dr. Koch points on the Kardashev scale created by Soviet astrophysicist Nikolai Kardashev. The scale, while purely theoretical, puts forward a simple framework for evaluating the technical development of any civilization originating from a cosmic perspective. The scale begins at type I and advances all of the right way to type 3, and that is approximately 10 to 100 million times better compared to a type 2 civilization. Type I energizes its machines and cities with all the electricity which arrives at the planet Earth. Type 2 harnesses the strength of the sunshine. The physicist Freeman Dyson has postulated that a huge sphere may be positioned around a mother star to absorb its lighting. Type 3, this is the realm of Star Trek and Empire Strikes Back. Each and every star is a thermonuclear furnace, along with a galactic civilization would really wear the power to drive machines efficiently and cleanly. And so exactly where does fashionable human our society spring? Simple, says Dr. Kaku. We are type 0.7. Making use of dead organisms and plants to power devices is a comparatively archaic type of fueling the world of ours. But there is hope. Annually, Earth creates on 3% more energy than the one before, which places us merely approximately 100 years away from being a sort I along with a 1,000 years from turning into a type 2 civilization. In approximately 100 years' time, the power output of the world will likely be much like the total length of sunshine which hits the planet itself. He adds, when holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas roll around, you may be thinking more about what to serve guests for dinner, or how to decorate your home, not how to increase sales with seasonal marketing. That is, unless you sell Christmas ornaments or turkeys, then I'm sure it's top of mind. Holiday promotions aren't just limited to important dates, either. You can go as broad as you like, the seasons, festivals and statutory days, to name a few. You only have to spend some time on social media platforms to see everything from International Coffee Day to World Teachers Day. Get creative and find the ones that make sense for your business. No matter what your product or service is, there are some great ways to appeal to your target audience. 5 seasonal marketing ideas to promote your business. Gift cards/certificates. From clothing stores to grocery stores, many businesses offer gift cards, and not just seasonally. You'll often find them year-round. Even if you don't have a product or service traditionally associated with a special occasion like Christmas, with a little creativity, you can make it work. For example, you probably wouldn't think of Subway sandwiches when you're brainstorming Christmas presents, but if you saw this gift card you might get an idea to give it to a friend or family member. Maybe you're a life coach or a business coach who could design a festive-looking gift certificate for a certain number of sessions. Or, perhaps you're an interior designer or feng shui consultant who could sell an introductory session as a housewarming gift. Birthdays. Have you ever received a freebie email or e-greeting card on your birthday? While some customers may shy away from entering their birthdays on your website or e-newsletter sign-up form, you can make it easier by not asking for the year and telling them why you're requesting it. Then, send your birthday customer a seasonal discount or freebie with your best wishes. Here's a tasty one. The family restaurant chain Red Robin offers a free birthday burger as one of the perks to signing up for their loyalty program. Free shipping. If you don't offer free shipping throughout the year, making this a prominent holiday offer on your website during can encourage visitors to buy from you. If you already offer free shipping over a certain amount, consider lowering it for a special occasion. You can remind customers that it's a special offer by having them enter a promo code at checkout or showing them the regular shipping cost crossed out. A social media photo contest. Ask your followers on Facebook or Instagram to share festive photos with your product and tag you for a chance to win a prize. You could have followers submit summer vacation photos, Easter dinner pics, a favorite first day of school memory. Whatever. Tie it in with your business and it's a win-win situation. Your followers get a chance to win a prize, and you get exposure and user-generated content. A simple thank you. It's always a thoughtful gesture to thank the people who make it possible for you to stay in business. I appreciate our clients so much, and I always want to wish them a happy holiday and let them know if we are going to be closed for a stat or special event. While this isn't a tactic to gain more sales, the more gratitude you feel and show to your loyal clients, the better. Take the time to send a short holiday newsletter when you feel it's appropriate. As a business owner, it's your main purpose and what you focus the bulk of your energy on. However, it can be a challenge, especially when you're so close to your brand, to see what's missing and to make the necessary changes. Now that you have some ideas around what to do for your customers, I'm going to share how you can pull off a successful holiday marketing campaign. 1. Do your keyword research. It's important to do keyword research anytime you create content. You want to have a nice balance of targeted short and long tail keywords. Don't wait until the last minute to create your compelling content, especially for big holidays like Christmas. According to the National Retail Foundation, 40% of consumers begin shopping for the 25th before Halloween. Rather than stuffing your content, you should be writing for your readers and sprinkling these well-researched keywords throughout your content. For special occasions, brainstorm the event, your product/service/timely offer, your location. Here are a few examples. Our Valentine's Day gift cards, Vancouver. Our New Year's women's dresses, Mississauga. Our Father's Day spa packages, Edmonton. 2. Provide valuable content. Think about what your visitors will find valuable when you're creating website copy and articles as part of your seasonal marketing. People are looking for solutions to their problems, whether it's how to make spring cleaning easier, or how to shop for birthday gifts on a budget. You could create a top 5 list, gather the most popular products or services around an occasion, or post some easy ways to do something to catch people's attention. Turn your keyword research into well-written and researched articles and guides that your customers will want to share on social media. 3. Be data-driven and flexible. It's essential to capture as much data as possible during your seasonal marketing campaigns. Are people engaging with your social media posts? Is your website content converting visitors into leads and sales? Is a particular page getting more traffic than others? As you collect data, you can review your campaign's performance to develop your strategy for other important dates and holiday promotions. You don't want to miss out on a profitable Black Friday or New Year's opportunity because you weren't sure how your campaign was doing. As you can see, seasonal campaigns are about more than just putting up store decorations or adding a greeting to your website's homepage. By creating meaningful campaigns that resonate with your target audience and following these 3 steps, your holidays can be happier and more successful than ever. Susan Friesen, founder of the award-winning web development and digital marketing firm eVision Media, is a web specialist, business, and marketing consultant, and social media advisor. She works with entrepreneurs who struggle with having the lack of knowledge, skill, and support needed to create their online business presence. As a result of working with Susan and her team, clients feel confident and relieved knowing their online marketing is in trustworthy and caring hands, so they can focus on building their business with peace of mind and having a perfect support system in place to guide them every step of the way. I was recently reminded of a story about Alan Mulally. One September in 2006, he walked into the offices of the legendary car manufacturer, Ford Motor Company, to assume the role of president and CEO. Before this point, he had been the chief that turned Boeing around from lackluster performance, and Ford was hoping he would deliver the same kind of magic to Ford. At the time, Ford was on the brink of bankruptcy and things were grim for the American automaker. As he reflected in a subsequent interview, in September '06, when I arrived, the first forecast I saw for profitability was a $17 billion loss. And we achieved it. Remarkably, the first meeting he had with his senior team produced a different picture for Mulally. During the meeting, Mulally patiently sat through presentations where senior company executives presented reports that looked great. Everyone, it seemed, was hitting their targets. He couldn't believe it. He then reminded them that they had wholly succeeded at losing billions of dollars. He then asked them to try again. Pause. Finally, one executive spoke up and began to provide Mulally with a less than rosy picture, which happened to be the real and raw truth. The executive then asked for help. What do you think happened next? Do you think Mulally ripped into the executive? On the contrary, He stood up and applauded the person who dared to tell him the truth. The most valuable player. As a CEO of multiple brands, I don't want to hear from my team about how good we're doing. Nothing is perfect, and I know it. I want to be challenged and want everyone on my team to do better, and the only way that happens is if all of us hear the truth. The most valuable player on my team is not the top salesperson, it's the person who dares to bring ideas to the table where he or she sees room for improvement. What would you have done? If you were faced with a turnaround situation of any kind and you walked into your first meeting as Mullally did years ago, what would you have done? The reality is that good management practice begins with a leader. Would you have done what Mullally did and publicly support the person that spoke up, or would you have done something different, like shoot the messenger? Unfortunately, I've seen it happen too often. The best teams don't only focus on what the leadership wants to hear, they trust in their leaders and the environment that allows them to speak about what's not working so it can be improved. Best strategy to make people speak up. Want to know what's one of the best things you can do if you're a manager and want your team to be frank and candid with you?